The message from authorities is they aren't giving up on the search for now 6-year-old Summer. Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson says they aren't going to stop until she's found.
It's heartbreaking to me and my officers and the entire community. We've never stopped looking for Summer. We will continue to do so.
TBI spokeswoman Leslie Earhart says it's hard to believe the search has been ongoing for a year.
When we held the first media briefing on June 16th, honestly, we expected to have good news to report by the time the next media briefing came around. Unfortunately, instead, day after day ended in frustration.
Authorities say this case is outside the norm and all possibilities are being explored.
Numerous search warrants have been executed, cell phone data has been analyzed, and any other available digital evidence has been collected, searched, and documented.
With this investigation garnering attention across the nation, Earhart stresses people only report credible tips.
This has had a major impact on the investigation and not in a good way. Moving forward, we ask the public not to submit tips as a result of a video they viewed on YouTube or a theory they've seen posted on Facebook. Please help us and only call if you have direct, specific information about the disappearance of Summer.
With those in the community hopeful Summer will be found. Joseph Broadwater and Haley Justine Thompson said it's important to not give up.
We're praying for you. We want you to come home. We want to see you reunited with your family and the loved ones in the community. Just would love to be able to celebrate you coming home.
Summer Moon Utah Wells, we just love you so much. We're hoping that you come home soon, safely. So many people want to share their love with you, and we're going to continue to pray for you until you are found.
Law enforcement promised this case hasn't gone cold.
It's been the goal of this team since day one to find Summer. We've never stopped, we've never slowed down, we deal with it every day.
The TBI says Summer's father not giving up on this case anytime soon. The agency says the case is not cold and the TBI is committed to finding answers. Multiple agencies were involved in the search for Summer. More than 170 interviews were conducted. That's what they say. The TBI says people offering tips online actually hurt their investigation, and that's why they're asking people with direct and specific information to contact them directly.
There are some people using this case for their own personal gain by spreading false information on social media posts as facts. This has had a major impact on the investigation and not in a good way.
Summer's father is serving a jail sentence for DUI, but he released a statement marking the 1 year since his daughter's disappearance, writing in part, "Since you've been gone, I've been completely devastated. I thought YouTube would be the most powerful tool to help find you, and perhaps it still could be, but at a price we may not be able to afford. Our family may not survive. I would be so happy to be a family again."
Metro Council members tell me they're cautiously optimistic about what's been presented. But in the short term, they want city leaders to focus on temporary housing with wraparound services.
It's a sight city leaders, community members, and business owners are fed up with. Homeless camps continue to take over some greenways and parks.
Very concerned about people dying. I mean, I'll just say that.
Homeless advocate Lou Wilbanks has been calling on the city to do something about the crisis for years. In April, Mayor Cooper announced a $50 million investment to combat homelessness. Part of that ask, a large chunk towards funding for developments, temporary housing for families, and funding to continue to make connections with landlords and developers. But one of the most crucial asks, $9 million for supportive services.
Focusing money and resources around those services to address those problems, I think, is the most sustainable way to address homelessness.
Councilmember Courtney Johnston wishes there was even more money being put into wraparound aid, and Lou Wilbanks agrees.
You cannot just take a person who's been out in a homeless camp for 5-10 years, drop them in their own apartment and expect them to thrive.
But community members believe there's a lot of talk and no action.
Specifically, Brookmead Park, there are a lot of people who are frustrated with what's happening there and the health and safety concerns there.
Sure, and it's not just Brookmead Park, I have to say. I mean, my district is nowhere near Brookmead Park. I get calls about homelessness concerns at this point almost daily. I would say they're right. There has been a lot of talk and not a whole lot of action.
Johnston says if the city uses these funds in a sustainable way, we're on the right track.